In the early morning hours of October 1st, 331 BC, two armies stood facing each other on a wide, dusty plain. One army was led by Darius III, ruler of the Persian Empire, the largest and richest empire the world had ever known. The other was commanded by a 25-year-old king, leading a force barely one-fifth the size of his enemy. By the end of that day, the Persian Empire would be shattered forever. This was not just a battle. This was the moment Alexander of Macedon became Alexander the Great. This is the story of the Battle of Gaugamela. Alexander was born in 356 BC, the son of King Philip II of Macedon. From childhood, he was trained for one-purpose war. His tutor was Aristotle, who taught him philosophy, science, and strategy. But it was his father who taught him how to command men. At just 20 years old, Alexander became king after Philip was assassinated. Most rulers would have struggled simply to hold their throne. Alexander did not. Within 2 years, he crushed rebellions in Greece and destroyed the city of Thebes as a warning to all others. Then he turned east. Across the Aegean Sea lay the Persian Empire, an empire that had threatened Greece for generations. Alexander did not want peace. He wanted conquest. The Persian Empire stretched from Asia Minor to India, from Egypt to Central Asia. It controlled vast wealth, enormous armies, and countless subject peoples. At its head stood King Darius III. Darius was not a weak ruler, but he had inherited an empire already showing cracks. In 334 BC, Alexander invaded Persian territory. Darius underestimated him. That mistake would haunt him. Alexander defeated Persian forces at the Granicus River, then crushed another Persian army at Issus in 333 BC. Darius fled the battlefield twice, but now he would make his stand. Darius chose the battlefield carefully. A flat plain near the village of Gaugamela in modern-day Iraq. Here, his massive army could move freely. He even ordered the land flattened, so his chariots and cavalry would not be slowed. Darius assembled an enormous force. Ancient sources claim hundreds of thousands. Modern historians estimate 80,000 to 120,000 troops. Alexander commanded around 47,000 men. The odds were overwhelming, but Alexander had something Darius did not: superior tactics, superior discipline, superior leadership. Alexander's army was small but elite. At its core was the Macedonian phalanx, heavy infantry armed with long spears called sarissas, up to 6 meters long. On the flanks were fast, deadly cavalry, especially the companion cavalry, personally led by Alexander. Every soldier was trained to move as part of a single machine. The Persians. Darius commanded a diverse force: Persian infantry, cavalry from across the empire, mercenaries, and his feared scythe chariots. But many Persian troops lacked discipline. They were brave, but they were not unified. The night before the battle, Darius kept his army awake, expecting a surprise attack. Alexander did the opposite. He allowed his men to sleep peacefully. When asked why he did not attack at night, Alexander replied, "I will not steal my victory." He wanted a decisive, undeniable triumph. As dawn broke, the two armies advanced. Alexander did something unexpected. Instead of attacking directly, he moved diagonally to the right. This forced the Persian cavalry to follow him. stretching their lines thinner and thinner. Darius took the bait. He ordered his scythed chariots forward, but Alexander had prepared. Light infantry stepped aside, allowing the chariots through, then attacked them from behind. The chariots failed. Now, a gap appeared in the Persian center. Alexander saw it, and he struck, leading his companion cavalry. Alexander charged straight toward Darius himself. This was the moment of truth. The Macedonians broke through the Persian center. Panic spread. Seeing Alexander approaching, Darius lost his nerve. For the third time in his life, the king of Persia fled the battlefield. Once Darius ran, the battle was over. The Persian army collapsed. Thousands were killed. Alexander pursued Darius, but the Persian king would later be betrayed and murdered by his own men. With Gaugamela, the Persian Empire effectively ceased to exist. Alexander marched into Babylon, Susa, Persepolis. The ancient world was his. He was now king of Asia. The Battle of Gaugamela was not just Alexander's greatest victory. It was the battle that made him immortal. If you enjoy epic battles and great wars, explained simply, subscribe to History in Minutes. Because history isn't just about the past. It's about the moments that shaped our world.